breaking everybody's back. Pause. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Haven and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for coming. If you have been rocking with me for years, I am back. I'm officially back on YouTube and I'm going to be bringing you videos every Sunday or Monday, depending on how busy I am. Wrapping up the week in wrestling, so Raw, sometimes NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, Collision, whatever pay-per-view took place, the news, the rumors, everything. These videos are going to be sort of like a podcast. A lot of you have asked me to start a podcast, so to me this is like the perfect middle ground. So we're going to be calling these videos slash podcasts Wrestling in Style, because there's many different styles of wrestling and I like fashion. Fashion is style. Check out the Batman sweater. Actually, I'm going to give you a better look at the outfit. I'm going to insert it here. Yeah. So because it's Wrestling in Style, we're going to also be talking about the gear throughout the week that I liked and that I didn't care too much about. And at the end of the video, we'll do our favorites of the week. So our favorite wrestler, match, segment, show, and WTF moment of the week. So yes, with all that being said, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Wait. Before I start, I want to say, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, let's get into Raw. The show opened up with Jey Uso, and he was having a great time. The crowd once again asked for him to replay his music. He was on the commentary table, and then Gunther showed up and pulled him off. Beat Jay's I might add. He hit him with chops, power bombs, just everything. As he was leaving, Jay got on the mic in the ring and was like, listen, it's going to be me and you at WrestleMania. I probably shouldn't say it, but that's what it is. So we officially have the first match announced, Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. The moving graphics, beautiful. Mind you, why did Gunther beat him up, telling him not to choose him? As if you beating this man's not going to make him want to choose you. The logic wasn't there, and I don't like that. Io Sky and Dakota Kai, Damage Control, they had a great match against Liv Morgan and Raquel. Io Sky goes crazy. She was hitting German suplexes, dives, missile drop kicks, just everything. And she's so smooth in that ring. I even like the tag team Oblivion that Raquel and Liv did. Like, all of these ladies really did their thing. And one thing about Liv Morgan, she's gonna sell her ass off. Like, I was like, is she okay? It also helped that she got busted open somehow during the match. I enjoyed it, but Damage Control won the match. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. Then we moved on to Lyra versus Bayley. This was to see who was going to be in the Elimination Chamber. And y'all, this match also was so damn good. They worked so well together. I didn't know I needed this match, but I need it again. They need to run it back. The reversals that Lyra was doing, like, she really showed up and was like, I gotta let y'all know that I wrestle. I'm a wrestler. Because these women, honestly, they were wrestling. And then on the outside, Lyra hit Bayley with a tornado DDT and a fisherman suplex. I'm like, I thought she was going to win. I don't know why she didn't. Actually, I do, because she needs to defend her IC title. Penta had a video promo. He looked so damn cool. The fire was all around him. And he basically said, Kaiser, Pete Dunne, I'm coming for y'all. Styles came out and he was talking about how he had a career-ending injury, but he came back from it. He's happy to be here on Raw. Dominic Mysterio interrupted him and Carlito, and then they started fighting and AJ got the upper hand and he looked really good. I can't wait to see him have a match. So Seth Rollins was being interviewed and he's basically just saying the same old same, I'm gonna win, he hates CM Punk, whatever. Finn Balor walked up though. Him and Seth Rollins will have a match Monday to see who qualifies for the Chamber. I know it won't be Finn, but I really would love it if it was. So then we had a tag match. It was the War Raiders versus the Creed brothers. And this match, I enjoyed it a lot. What I don't understand is why one of the Creed brothers grabbed the belt and it caused the DQ. That was a very weird choice. Like, the match was going so well and then you end it like that. Like, why did he think using the belt made sense? It's getting weird. So we saw the Judgment Day in the back and Dom and Finn are not getting along. Dom wants to bring in new members. Finn is like, no, I'm gonna fix everything. We know something is gonna go down. I believe they're gonna kick Finn out and hopefully this makes him a baby face and he can get, you know, thrown into the title picture at some point. Am I dreaming? Perhaps. So then CM Punk came out and he basically said what everyone else is saying. He's gonna win the Chamber. He's gonna go on to WrestleMania and win. And Logan Paul came out. And CM Punk literally said on the mic, I didn't even know whose music that was. which was hilarious. And Pat McAfee was like, no, nobody does on commentary. I thought that was hilarious because they are online. They see everything that y'all say. That's why I don't say anything crazy anymore. But Logan Paul was out there because he had a match against Rey Mysterio to see who was going to qualify for the chamber. Unfortunately, Logan Paul won, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, because he's going to get his ass beat in that chamber. Also, I will point out his finisher is nice. And to end Raw, after Rey Mysterio lost, he got jumped by the New Day and it just went off. One thing I want to say, why is Raw on Netflix going off in the middle of a beatdown when there is no time limit? It went off at 10:29. We had a minute left. If you want to say the show was 2 hours and 30 minutes. What's up with that? We couldn't get that last minute. We couldn't see the rest of the beatdown. I got to go online to see it. What if I didn't want to? Anyway, moving on. Moving on to NXT. Guess who showed up? Ricky Starks showed up in NXT. The crowd was chanting his name and he basically said, I'm here and I'm gonna turn this place upside down. But one thing we all noticed was no one said his name. No one on commentary actually said Ricky Starks. He didn't say Ricky Starks. And even when WWE shared the post online, they did not say Ricky Starks. So I'm kind of wondering why. Are they gonna change his name? I hope not. I'm worried. Why didn't they say Ricky Starks? Ricky Starks is a good name. I'm thinking though, maybe it's just because it happened really, really quickly and maybe they didn't get to finalize some things. So they didn't want to say anything too soon. I don't know because if his name is remaining Ricky Starks, why can't you just say Ricky Starks? Contracts finalized or not. But I don't know anything about contracts, so let me know. So now we're going to move on to styled and profile. This is where we talk about anybody who might have looked really, really nice or really, really bad. Lyra Valkyria looked fantastic. I loved her gear. She looked so cute. And I also have to say, Logan Paul's gear, it was nice. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I'm so sorry about it. It caught my eye. So yeah, Lyra and Logan Paul, they looked good. They had that drip. They really did. Now let's get into SmackDown. So to open the show, we had Cody Rhodes, and he was basically talking about the Chamber, who's not gonna beat him with Solo, because he's upset that he's upset that Solo knocked him out last week. So Drew McIntyre came out and was like, I don't like the way you said my name. You basically just said, and also Drew McIntyre. So Cody said it again. Drew still wasn't feeling it. So Drew was like, I have to remind you who I am. And then what happens? Can we guess? Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga came out. And Jacob is really the new Solo, because remember back when anyone was talking, Solo would interrupt them every single week? Yeah, that's Jacob now. Also, let's note, Tama Tonga looked so good. The olive green, the black shirt under with the gold chain. Yes. So anyway, Jacob Fatu said he's bringing the championship back to the family. Drew was kind of like, yeah, this has nothing to do with me, Cody. I think he's talking to you. So Cody said, listen, if you win the chamber, we'll do this. And then they show Solo on the screen arriving in all cream/white. And I must say, Solo is really that dude. He gives us fashion every single time. You see how he moved away from the black and red and now he's wearing white? So Jacob said, nah, Cody, I need to talk to Solo first. And Cody was like, you may talk to him first, but I'm going to get the last word. And you know what, Cody? I know that's right. So in the back, they show us Tama Tonga. He asks the man, where's Solo? The man is like, I don't know. I think he went that way. Jacob shows up and just beats the man down. Jacob is really a loose cannon. Then we see Wade Barrett talking to Trish in the crowd, and he asked was she going to be at the Elimination Chamber, and she said yeah, she'll be there, but she doesn't know in what capacity. Interesting. This led us to Naomi versus Chelsea for a spot in the Elimination Chamber. This match I really enjoyed. Naomi was doing her thing and she won. Thank goodness. The crowd was hype. I was hype. Bianca was hype. It was a good time. But like I said with Lyra, can we give Chelsea an opponent so she can defend her championship? So we had a Sammy video. He was sad. He's hurting. He's upset because Kevin tried to end him. And then he said, you know what? If we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. So Sammy is down for kicking Kevin's ass, even though Kevin is right. So we had a tag match, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I didn't really care about it, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Sorry, not sorry. So in the back, Jacob and Tama, they find Solo in a locker room. And Jacob is like, what's up? Solo let them know he needed time off. He let the family down. Like, you have no idea what that feels like. But then he said he's good now, and they got to do this together. And it starts with Jacob winning the Elimination Chamber and then bringing the title back home. So Jacob just looked at him and was walking away, and then Solo grabbed his arm and said, Jacob, I love you. And Jacob did not say it back. He just walked away, and then Tama Tonga kind of gave Solo a look, and then he walked away. Y'all, you know where this is going. This is the same thing Roman and Solo went through. I made a video about this on my Instagram and my TikTok and my Facebook. It's the same story. I just hope they add elements to make it different and to make it even better. So then Nakamura was in the ring. You know, yeah, your US champion. He was saying how he doesn't have any opponents. So then LA Knight came out. And then The Miz came out, and honestly, LA Knight was cooking The Miz. Like, he basically was saying The Miz is so irrelevant. He needs to just go on a retirement tour just like John Cena because he's done. So then we had an impromptu match, Miz versus LA Knight, and of course, LA Knight won. In the back, we saw Nia and Candice talking, and Alexa walked up on them and said she wishes Nia luck tonight in her match. We know she lying, but the screen did the little glitch, so clearly the Wyatt Six are coming for Alexa. So we had R-Truth versus Carmelo, and man, what? This match was so short, and on top of that, Carmelo really just be doing anything. He just wrestles anybody and everybody. I would love for him to get a story that is meaningful. Go for a championship. I mean, come on, Nakamura's not doing anything with that. Why is Carmelo not in that feud? Why is it Miz and LA Knight? Let's ask ourselves that. Then we had Kevin Owens in his car, and he basically was laughing at Sammy, you know, when he said, you're in pain, but you don't know anything about emotional pain, all right? And then he said, Elimination Chamber in Canada, they can meet. But that doesn't sound like it's a match, so I'm a little confused, but either way, we're going to get a face-to-face, and I know it's going to be intense. The Street Profits, once again, had a really intense video, and Montez probably gave us one of the best reaction videos of the year so far. Yes! I love that! I've saved it, and I will be using it. I've used it already, actually. So then we had Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. This match was good. I liked it, but Tiffany was kicking out of everything. But then Candice got involved, and that caused a DQ. And then Trish ended up hopping the barricade, getting in the mix, but she got squashed by Nia Jax. And then Tiffany caught a leg drop, and she was laid out. This is when Charlotte Flair came out, sat in a chair, and basically told Tiffany she chooses her to wrestle at WrestleMania. And this led to Tiffany and Trish in the back, Trish saying maybe they should take on Nia and Candice at the Elimination Chamber. So that's going to be a match. Honestly, I'm actually interested in this match. Then we had Nick Aldis. He told Bianca and Naomi that he has an anonymous tip. It's a video of that night Jade was attacked. An anonymous tip. An anonymous tip. Great. So we see the footage, and it just showed Liv and Raquel sneaking around while Jade was being loaded into the ambulance. Now listen, that is not evidence. That does not mean that they did anything. They were just there. And Naomi's like, oh, everybody was trying to say it was me. They're framing me. Girl, it was you, okay? They're not fooling me. I know that it was Naomi, possibly Bianca, but I'm thinking it was Naomi. And so for the main event, we had Damian Priest versus Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. This was to see who was going to go on to be in the Elimination Chamber. This match was pretty cool. Jacob Fatu was beating everybody's asses. And then also when he needed to sell, he was selling his ass off. But Solo showed up, hit Strowman with the spike. Cody came out, him and Solo getting into it. And then Solo accidentally hits Tama Tonga. And Jacob was not feeling that. So he gets in Solo's face. And then he gets pushed into Solo. It was just a lot going on. And through all of that, Damian Priest won the match. So he's going to the chamber. All right, Airplane. 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 So yeah, that was the drama on SmackDown. So before we move on to the AEW portion of this video, we're going to get into the WWE's style and profile. And first up, we know it. Cody Rhodes, he looked great. The gray coat over the suit? Man. Tama Tonga, like I said earlier, that olive green, the black, the chain? Yeah. Tama Tonga was looking great. Solo Sikoa, he pulled that look off. Not everyone can do it, but he did it, and I appreciate that. Next up, we have Bianca and Naomi. They had the cute little Valentine's Day candy hearts on their gear. I thought that was so cute. And honestly, them two, they always look fantastic. Real quick, NXT Vengeance Day. We have the Shield 2.0, it seems. 4 men, though, not 3, 4. They attacked a few people in NXT, Obafemi included, and they hit him with like a toss powerbomb. 2 of the guys had Oba up and tossed him, and then the other 2 caught him. That was kind of badass, I'm not gonna lie. but they have on the black, they have the Shield mask, like, but I don't know how I feel about this because we've seen this already. Why dress them just like the Shield? Like, this is what's throwing me off. It's okay to have, you know, this mysterious new group of men coming through wrecking everybody, but why make it feel just like the Shield did? May I point out that some of those men are nice to look at. And Jordan Grace showed up back in NXT as Stephanie Vakir and Julia had a face-to-face holding up their championships because Stephanie is now the new North American Women's Champion and Julia is NXT Women's Champion, and Jordan came out letting them know she's here. That triple threat match will go so hard, it's insane. Oh, we have some news, by the way. Road Dogg has been said to be the new co-lead writer of SmackDown. The fans were saying this is why SmackDown has been not good. But other people are happy because he loves Naomi, and this may mean a nice little push for her, which I'm not mad at all. We need a Naomi push. But you let me know, do you think SmackDown has been pretty bad recently, or are you still feeling it? So now we're going to get into AEW Dynamite. Max Caster was in the ring, and I believe it was an open challenge, and Adam Page came out. He chased Max Caster into the crowd, back into the ring, and beat his ass rather quickly, and he won. We saw Swerve and Prince Nana in the back, and they are not on the same page, it seems. Nana is telling Swerve to get his head in the game, go after the championship. And Swerve was like, I can't let this go with Ricochet because the last time things got out of control with Adam Page, he burned his house down, you know? So I understand both sides, but listen, at the end of the day, Ricochet is kind of crazy, and you gotta fix that now. My favorite thing of the night was the Undisputed Kingdom versus the Death Riders. This was for the trios titles. And y'all, if you know me, I used to love Adam Cole, still do. I still rock with him. Him being in the trios division right now, I think is perfect for him. This match was for me. I'm letting you know now. The Death Riders versus Undisputed Kingdom was 100% for me. This was my match of the night. One thing I will say, Roderick Strong is low-key becoming one of my favorites. He was breaking everybody's back. Pause. He hit Claudio with a backbreaker, Yuta, Pac. But at one point, they were beating Pac like move after move after move, and I almost put them on a list. They were this close to going on a list, but I was like, you know what, I can't do it. These are my guys, and they didn't do anything too crazy, but take it easy on Pac. The Death Riders did win the match. Yuta hit someone with the Nutcracker, and they retained. And then they started beating them up, and then Danny Garcia, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Ange, they came out to make the save. Y'all can get beat up too, don't play. So right after this, in the back, we saw Marina and Moxley walking, and then they got ambushed. Cope hit Moxley with the chair to his back. They took Marina, locked her in the room, him and Jay White, and they was able to cut the briefcase off of her, off the chain, and they locked her in the room. So Adam Page was being interviewed in the back, and then MJF walked up, and it was the same old same. Low-hanging fruit. And Adam Page called him out on it. And I'm actually glad that the wrestlers now are starting to point it out. Like, hey, you say the same thing over and over again. You go for the cheapest shot, insult the crowd, whatever. And guess what? He just continued to do more of the same, so I don't even care. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata are known as the Ops now. They had a quick match, and they basically said they're coming for Christian and the patriarchy. So then we had MJF versus Dustin Rhodes, and listen, the match was fine. I was on TikTok Live. We was having a good time chatting. But as far as the match goes, I couldn't care less because I don't care for MJF or Dustin Rhodes right now. If I wasn't on TikTok, this would have been my bathroom break, my go to the kitchen and open the fridge break. So yeah, the match was fine. MJF won. So there's that. But him being the dirty man that he is, was attacking Dustin after. And then Adam Page made the save, and then they brawled. So we are finally getting this feud. They've been teasing it for weeks now. And guess what? It's going to be fine. I know. So then we had Statlander versus Penelope Ford, and I'm gonna say it every time she wrestles. Let's push Penelope. Let's give her some wins. She did not win though, but she did some cool stuff in this match, I will say. Statlander won, and then Megan Bayne came out, and then Penelope hit Statlander when she wasn't looking. So Megan Bayne got the upper hand, hit her with the F5. And it seems that Penelope and Megan are working together because this is the second time this has happened. Happened on Collision last week. Penelope hit Thunder Rosa in the back, and Megan Bayne was able to attack her. So I'm liking this, okay? they can push them like they should have did Camille and Mercedes. I think this would be perfect. It gets Penelope on TV and maybe she'll win because maybe Megan helps her. I think this would be a nice team up. And then we had the Hurt Syndicate versus the Gun Club. Yo, the Hurt Syndicate really be hurting people. And they won. They retained their tag titles, as they should. After the fact, though, Lance Archer and Brian Cage came out and they had a stare down. So I guess this is the next matchup, which I'm okay with. But I need the Hurt Syndicate to once again run through these men. Run through them. I mean, I know it won't be, I guess, as easy because they're pretty big themselves. But to make a statement, they would destroy these men. And to end the show, we had Copeland and Jay White. They was in the ring. They had the briefcase. Copeland was going to open it with Spike. Y'all remember Spike that he was going to murder Christian with? Yeah. Moxley came out and he was like, okay, fine. I'll give you the match at Revolution. Copeland was like, cool, but he was going to open it anyway to see the World Championship. The rest of the Death Riders came out and then Jay White was handing out Hidden Blades. Hidden Blades? That's the wrong guy. And Jay White was handing out Blade Runners and Moxley caught a spear from Cope. And then Jay White got on the mic and said, we're going to beat you at Grandslam. So yeah, Dynamite was fine. I enjoyed it. So we're going to get Cope versus Mox for the main event of Revolution. Now here's my thing. I don't want Cope to win. The only way I will accept him winning is if Christian cashes in immediately and takes the championship from him. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't think any 50-year-olds, these legends, they do not need to be here winning championships. We complained about this when WWE did it, right? They stopped. We can't accept it if AEW does it. The only reason why I will accept Christian is because Christian has been working his ass off. He has been putting in the best work probably of his career. The fans love him. They love to hate him. He's built this character and this patriarchy and it makes so much sense. I'm not getting that from Cope. I'm not feeling that from him. Christian's been in AEW for a while. And I mean, clearly he's up next if he has that contract, right? Cope doesn't need it. He can be here just to have a good time, you know, just to put some guys over. But Christian, I think he deserves that world championship run. It doesn't have to be a long one, but he should get it. So let's get into Grand Slam. They were smart. They opened up with Fletcher and Takeshita versus Ospreay and Omega. The crowd was hot for Omega and Ospreay. Don Callis, of course, got booed when he tried to get involved. Like, can you just sit your ass down? But Takeshita hit Ospreay and Omega with a double German suplex. That man is so damn good. I'm telling you, he's the future. There were two spots in this match that I really love. When Omega went for the one-winged angel off the second rope, but he wasn't gonna get it, and so Ospreay ended up hitting, I think it was Takeshita with a super Os cutter. I really like that. And the second spot was the finish of the match. Omega had him up for the one-winged angel, and then Ospreay went up top and hit the hidden blade first, and it went into the one-winged angel. When I tell you, that was the craziest way to do that move. But yes, I enjoyed this match. The right guys won. People were screaming about it online over some nonsense saying that Fletcher was going to get cheered in his home country. And sometimes I wonder, do these people even actually know wrestling or watch wrestling? Because it was very obvious that Fletcher was not going to get cheered. It's Ospreay and Omega. Like, let's be so for real. So then we had Harley Cameron versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS championship. This match was cool. You know, Harley did really well. The puppet played a factor in this match, but ultimately Mercedes did retain. I was rooting for Harley Cameron, honestly. I thought it would have been so cool for her to win in Australia, be the first person to pin Mercedes. It would mean a lot. Like, whoever does that is going to mean a lot because she hasn't been pinned yet, but I guess it's not Harley Cameron. So in the back, we saw Kenny and Ospreay, and Ospreay wants Fletcher in a steel cage. Omega wants Takeshita and that international championship. And guess what? I will be at Revolution, and those matches, I don't even know which match is going to be better, but I'm going to love both of them. So then we moved on to Claudio and Mox versus Jay White and Cope. When Cope came out and his song ended, the crowd continued to sing the song. I felt like I was at a concert. Like, I forgot we was about to have a wrestling match. It was so cool, and you could tell that Cope really was like getting choked up about it. So then the match got started, and of course, because Marina was out there, she got involved, was beating Cope with a kendo stick. Claudio put him through a table from the apron to the outside. Jay White had a kendo stick of his own, and he went absolutely insane with that kendo to Claudio, hitting him front and back and front and back, and broke it. And then he tried to hit Mox with it, but Mox Mox wasn't having it. And then Yuta showed up and he was whipping Jay White with the belt. But Jay White was so pissed, he went from getting whipped on the ground to standing up and still getting whipped so that he could hit Yuta with a Blade Runner. And you know what? Yuta has earned every Blade Runner he's been hitting with. And of course, Cope brought out a chair wrapped in barbed wire and he took that straight to the back of Moxley a few times, who immediately started bleeding. It's not a Moxley match if he's not bleeding. So Cope was about to hit Moxley with the concerto with the barbed wire chair, but Yuta stopped it once again, to the fans not liking that. And Marina then hit Cope with the briefcase. It was hilarious, like a quick little thud. And then Moxley put him to sleep and Mox and Claudio won the match. The crowd was not okay with this. The crowd was chanting bull. Me, I loved it. I like when the Death Riders win because the fans really don't like them and they don't want them to win, but I absolutely love it. So then we had Buddy versus Okada for the Continental Championship. This match was so good. I was rooting for Buddy the entire time. And let me tell you, he kicked out of the Rainmaker. I think he's the first to do that. He hit the stomp. And Matthew's Law, it doesn't work when it's Matthew's Law. It makes more sense when it's Murphy's Law. But anyway, he hit that and I thought he had it. I thought he had the match won, but Okada kicked out. But to end the match, they both almost ran into the ref back to back. And while Okada and the ref was doing a whoa, 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 Buddy was behind him and guess what he did? Hit him with a nutcracker. Yes, he did. He hit the Rainmaker and then he retained. Now this was bull. But you know what? If he gets a rematch at Revolution and wins, I'm okay with that because guess what? Yes, I will be there. And for the main event, Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship. And this match was pretty damn good. The crowd was singing Toni Storm's name. Like, that's how much they loved her. She hit Mariah May with so many German suplexes. I just couldn't, you couldn't pay me to do that. That looks so painful. So annoying as well. You just getting thrown on the back of your neck. Like, absolutely not. But one thing though, I feel like Mariah May kicked out of more things than Tiffany Stratton did on SmackDown. Like, she kicked out of everything. She kicked out of her own finisher. She kicked out of Toni Storm's finisher. Like, come on now. And anyway, when it looked like Mariah was gonna win, Toni Storm ended up rolling her up for the win to regain the Women's Championship. So yes, the fans were happy. Toni Storm wins, and it was a great way to end the show. So now we move into the AEW portion of Style and Profile. And up first, I gotta give it to Harley Cameron. She looked really nice. It was really cute and like pastel-y. And Mariah May. She also had really good gear this time. So now we're gonna do our weekly wrestling wrap up. So starting with my favorite match. I wanted to say it was a tie, but I would be lying. I ain't gonna lie to you. Undisputed Kingdom versus the Death Riders on Dynamite. That is my favorite match. It was so good. Like, I was hyped for this match. I was on the edge of my seat for this match. Favorite wrestler of the week? I mean, any week that Pac wrestles, he's probably going to be my favorite wrestler of the week. No, I can't be biased, okay? So my favorite wrestler of the week, I'm actually going to give it to Lyra Valkyria. I really liked everything she did in her match with Bayley. So I'm giving it to Lyra, y'all. WTF moment of the week has to go to Ricky Starks showing up in NXT. Like, I didn't expect it to happen so soon. That is definitely the biggest WTF moment. As far as my favorite segment, it's going to go to Jey Uso, his entrance, and then Gunther coming out and beating his ass. Because not only did we get the encore, we got the beatdown, and we got Jey choosing Gunther for WrestleMania. So I really like that. And my favorite show of the week, it's definitely going to Grandslam. I was looking forward to this show. Even with all the craziness surrounding it, I think every match absolutely delivered. And we got a title change to end the show. And everybody went home happy. So you let me know your favorites of the week down below. I'm really excited to see what you guys liked. That is it for this video. Please don't forget to share and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one.